What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Today will be the last NBA rankings video for this NBA season, and this series has been lit and a lot of fun to do, dating back to the very first ranking video that I dropped in October. If you've been watching since then, shout out to you for real. Be sure to check out the previous ranking videos that I've posted to see how your favorite team did all year. Be on the lookout for my playoff predictions that are on the way when the postseason starts. And like and subscribe because that's what pays my bills. The rankings are basically still the same except for a few changes. S tier, NBA Finals teams. The A tier, teams I think are a piece or two away from being true contenders. The B tier, teams that could play spoiler in the playoffs if the cards are right. C tier, lower level teams that could or could not make the playoffs. D tier is just not your year, fam. Yeah. And F tier, I pray that your team has been watching March Madness because y'all need, that shows future right there. Besides all that, let's get right into the March rankings. The Philadelphia 76ers. Look, the Sixers have all the tools to make it to the NBA Finals. You have Joel Embiid, who's the MVP favorite. James Harden is still producing offensively to the level that we know James Harden can do. And you have a lot of role players in Tyrese Maxey, Tobias Harris, Matisse Thybulle. We all know the rundown. The question mark is if James Harden and Joel Embiid can carry this team when it matters most in the postseason. James Harden is always going to have that shadow of him being a playoff choker, and Joel Embiid has never made it to the conference finals. So this is where they can go ahead and prove a lot of people wrong. A lot of people don't think so, but I think that if you look at this team and what they have, the possibility of them doing it is very, very high as long as the two stars play to their abilities. The next team, the Washington Wizards. Hey fam, it's just not your year. It's not your year. I think the Kristaps Porzingis trade, it's cool, I guess. Not really something that I really care too much about for this team. I like Kyle Kuzma this year. I think the role players, when you finally bring Bradley Beal, will complement his play style. But I think you guys need to bring another star player to really be competitive in the Eastern Conference. Maybe get blessed with a high draft pick, or make a really big splash in free agency or a big trade in the offseason before you guys are really talked about as being a competitive team in the Eastern Conference. The next team, the Atlanta Hawks. Look, Atlanta, it feels like you guys are finding your rhythm a little too late, right before the season ends. You guys have some good wins in the month of March, and I think that Trae Young has looked phenomenal. This has been a really good year by Trae Young, even though the season has been really shitty for the Atlanta Hawks. But when you guys end this season, regardless of where you guys are at, the big question marks are going to be how you guys rebuild this team, because obviously last year's success compared to this year, something's got to give, and I think the front office is going to have a lot of decisions to make, especially on rebuilding this team around Trae Young and getting the right guys around him. The next team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, I have you guys in the C tier, and it might be a little bit crazy because I've been high on you guys a little bit for the entire year, but you guys have been unhealthy due to Jared Allen being injured, and him being out has definitely affected your defense. With Toronto coming, Brooklyn coming, and you guys obviously might fall to the 7th seed and be in the play-in, your season could be shaky. You guys could lose 2 games and be done. So I don't know yet, but if you guys can get healthy before the playoffs, I definitely think you guys will be a sleeper team. But right now, you're not healthy, you haven't looked too good. But it's not the end of the world, Cleveland. I still rock with you guys, but you guys definitely have some question marks right now that you guys got to figure out before the season ends. Next team, Detroit Pistons. Look, Detroit, you guys haven't really had a crazy season to talk about, but I will say this: Cade Cunningham is him. Cade Cunningham is going to be the future for your team, and I like that you guys have given him the tools to go ahead and be great. Honestly speaking, I think he's Rookie of the Year. I think he's been that good. He should be Rookie of the Year, fam. Like, I understand the narratives and stuff like that, but Cade Cunningham has been very crazy. But again, you know, go ahead and watch March Madness because Cade Cunningham definitely needs help. So y'all do that. Y'all definitely do that. Pacers. Again, Pacers, go watch March Madness. I know you guys blew it up like I told you guys to do back in like January or December. Good job again. Getting Tyrese Halliburton is still good. You guys definitely need some more talent on your team and go ahead and build for the future. But I will say that you guys have a lot of cap space. Got some picks to go ahead and move. You guys are in a good spot. You're in a good spot. But this season y'all weren't in a good spot. So yeah, like your friends in Detroit, go ahead and watch March Madness. You might need some of the boys down there. No cap. Next team, Milwaukee Bucks. Look, Milwaukee's the NBA Finals team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm not doubting this team at all. Jrue Holiday is finding his rhythm. The team is getting healthy again. The Bucks are a team where, again, it seems as if like people didn't want to talk about them the entire year. These are the reigning NBA champions. Giannis is one of the few players in the league where if he wants to get 40 points, Brett was going to get 40 points. Again, going through Milwaukee to get to an NBA Finals is going to be tough for any team, and I think they're one of the favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference. Next team, Toronto Raptors. Look, Toronto, y'all have looked really good. And I think that, like I said before, you guys are finding the right rhythm before the playoffs start. Now, again, you guys might fall into the playoff tier. You guys might be in the playing tournament. Who knows, depending on how you guys play. But I think that you guys are going to play spoiler for a lot of teams. Pascal Siakam might be an All-NBA player this year. Fred VanVleet, people didn't even think he was going to be an all-star. Your team is a lot of people who just don't get talked about a lot this year. Even Scotty Barnes. I know I talked about Cade Cunningham being Rookie of the Year. Scotty Barnes has a chance of being a Rookie of the Year too. But you guys know what I mean. You guys have a really good team, and I think that if you guys make the playoffs, you guys are going to play spoiler for a lot of guys. A lot of teams, man. The next thing, the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas, Bro, Dallas is one of the, bro, I feel like it's wrong to put you on the sleeper tier depending on how, no, matter of fact, nah, y'all are missing something. Look, Dallas has been good since the new year. They've been a good team defensively. They've been a good team on offense. Luka looks like he has some guard play that can help him, Spencer Dinwiddie and Jalen Brunson. The only thing I have about the Dallas Mavericks that I want to say, I think that you guys got rid of Kristaps Porzingis, which is cool, but I feel like if you guys go into the next season and go ahead and get a guy, a big man who can also be a defensive juggernaut or another offensive superstar, that would really, really help this team and push them over the edge, because I feel like you guys have enough to where Luka can be Luka, but I don't know if you guys are an NBA Finals team, but you guys are definitely there. You guys have been looking good. I got to give y'all credit, bro. Y'all look good, bro. Y'all look good, man. Next thing, the Denver Nuggets. Denver, look, y'all are sleepers. And it's unfortunate because I honestly thought that Jamal Murray might have made a return. Apparently, he's not going to be able to return for the season. And Michael Porter Jr., we still don't have any timetable of him coming back. I thought they were going to be back. And if they were back, y'all would be dangerous. With what Nikola Jokic is able to do right now with this team, it's unbelievable. Solid team. Nikola Jokic could win MVP again, but I don't know. Like I really wanted you guys to have your guys back. But if you guys don't have them back, I doubt you guys make a really deep run in the playoffs this year, which is unfortunate. The next team, the Memphis Grizzlies. Fam, Memphis is making it to the NBA Finals. They have a chance. They have a chance of making it to the NBA Finals. People don't want to talk about them. They don't trust them because of them being young. Hey man, scrap all that. These guys are scrappy. They play defense. They play hard. The team without their best player is still one of the better teams in the NBA, going 15-2 without Ja. They could definitely make it to the finals if the cards are right. And they have the talent. They have the second most wins in the league. They're that good, man. We can't stop sleep. We gotta stop sleeping on the Memphis Grizzlies, bro. We just can't. We can't. Minnesota Timberwolves. Look, Minnesota might be in the play-in tournament by default just because of how the seeding works and how the play-in tournament works with the 7th seed making it. But this team here, hopefully they make the playoffs. So I hope they do and get out the play-in tournament. But Cat feels like he's the big dog, big cat now, or big dog, whichever you want to choose. Like, they have one of the better defenses in the league. This team is dangerous. I'm telling you, Minnesota was a surprise this year. I thought they were going to be a top team this year. In the beginning of the season, it didn't look like it. But since the new year, they've looked a lot better. And with Cat and his play, look, Minnesota's going to be a problem. They're a sleeper team for sure. San Antonio. They could find themselves in the play-in tournament. And I think that if they make it into the play-in tournament with this young core, they probably won't win any games. They're probably losing the first round, of course. I think that there's a lot of possibilities with this team. They're still in a situation where they need to rebuild their team. They have their franchise cornerstone. I'm a fan of Keldon Johnson. People don't know the man's name. Know the man's name. I think in the month of March, he's averaging around 21 points per game on great efficiency. This team is young. This team is young and they're finding the ways. And you never know. You never know that you might see them in the play-in tournament. And if they are in the play-in tournament, hey man, we'll see. Next team, the Utah Jazz. Utah's missing something, and they're just missing everything. Utah, this is my thing about Utah. I've talked about them deeply in these ranking videos. Utah is going to blow it up if they have a bad postseason. I think it's time to blow it up if they don't make a deep run. I think this is the year. If they don't make it to at least the conference finals, they gotta blow it up. I love D. Mitch, but again, the problem with Utah is that the second best player offensively is who? Jordan Clarkson? I wouldn't be surprised if Utah makes it to the conference finals. I'm not buying into Utah right now. I just can't. Depending on what I've seen this season, the regular season, them losing certain games to certain, like, no, I just can't. I can't. Next thing, the Clippers. I think you guys are going to be in the play-in tournament. If this team has a very, very strong base of role players, and when they bring in Kawhi and PG back next season, they're going to be a hard team to go up against, man. This team is going to be very, very dangerous. They're going to be one of the top teams in the Western Conference once they're healthy, but we'll see going forward next season. Next thing, the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix is definitely the favorites to come out of the Western Conference. They are the favorites to win the championship this year. Devin Booker should be in MVP talks because of how the MVP narratives have always been. And I think that we don't talk about the Phoenix Suns being as dominant as they've been this entire season. They need their respect. This is the team that people need. The Phoenix is the favorites. They're the favorites to win it all. Shout out to them. We'll see what they do in the playoffs. Portland. Hey, Portland. Drew Eubanks looks really, really good. I think you guys have a lot of cap space again. Dame is going to come back next season. Nurkic is going to come back next season. So you guys will probably be a little bit more competitive. Dame wants to stay, so I'm not going to talk too much about that. It's whatever at this point. I think that you guys can definitely make some moves, kind of like how Indiana and all these other teams can make moves going forward next season. You guys have the cap space. You guys could definitely make a splash in free agency and actually bring in somebody big. But as of now, yeah, Duke plays tonight. Go ahead and watch them. Go ahead and watch Duke. Sacramento Kings. Not this year. Not this year. I know a lot of people thought that, trading for Sabonis would have been the big move that the Kings needed, that, to push them over the edge. No. Now, he's not playing. De'Aaron Fox in March looked really, really good. It was not talked about. I think De'Aaron was averaging close to like 30 points. He was looking really, really good. You got to look at the fact that you guys, again, have cap space. And at this point, even if you guys are not going to make it to the playoffs, you guys might get a high pick, two guys in De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis who are all-star level players, and again, cap space to go ahead and make some more moves. So I think you guys are in a better situation for your front office going into the offseason. season is just making the right moves, because for the last 14 years, y'all have not made the right moves at all. But yeah, good luck, man. Good luck. Next in the New York Knicks. You guys have been bad. I think the biggest positive is that RJ Barrett has looked really, really good as of late, and he's looked like the third pick that you wanted him to be back in 2019. Now the question mark is trying to get back to what you guys did last year. Similar to how Atlanta is right now, you guys got to figure out ways to get back into that level of being competitive, bringing in the right guys, because I think that Evan Fournier was cool, didn't really move the needle. Kemba Walker definitely didn't work. So a lot of people that were brought in this year were pretty mid, but you guys got a lot of things you guys got to do before we talk about you guys being competitive. So yeah, sorry fam. New Orleans Pelicans. New Orleans. Zion Williamson finally coming back, and that whole fiasco's over. When he gets healthy with the team, having Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Valanciunas, and the young guys on your team with Herb Jones, I think that you guys are going to be a problem going forward. Maybe not this year. And even if you guys do somehow beat the Lakers or make it to the playoffs, I think that you guys will be out in round one. But I think the future is set up for you guys to be really, really good going forward. And it's looked good so far. I think you guys are gonna figure it out and get there. But right now, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got in New Orleans, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Next team, Charlotte, playoffs. Again, when it comes into the play-in tournament, you guys are probably gonna have to have a stellar 1 game or 2 games to go ahead and make it to the playoffs. But I think that your offense is so loaded to the point where you guys could make a splash. You guys could spoil someone's season. But the big problem that you guys have had the entire season is just your defense. So, but again, your defense is just been dog shit the entire year. I don't know if I can trust you guys. So yeah. The next team, the Houston Rockets. Houston, yeah, we need a tank. And about Jalen Green, man. Jalen Green's gonna win Rookie of the Month. He's been balling out, and it's good because I feel like a lot of people don't really watch Jalen Green and have this narrative of him being a bust, but he has been really, really good so far as of late since the All-Star break. He leads all rookies in 3-pointers made. This guy has the offensive skill set to be really, really good, and if you really look at his game, you've seen the improvements that he's made the entire season, taking more mid-range shots, being more efficient, being more comfortable getting to the rim. Jalen Green has the best upside of being the best talent in this draft class, and I think he's going to be that. When people stop trying to use narratives to push down rookies and try to acknowledge them and see what they're doing and see their improvements, NBA discourse would be a lot better. But again, Houston, Jalen's looking nice, Şengün's looking nice, the rookies looking nice, but we still need to figure out what we need to do. Go ahead and watch March Madness and see if we need to go get that boy Paulo or Jabari or Chet or Ivy. Like, we need to go do something. Next team, the Miami Heat. Y'all are missing something. I ain't gonna lie. This is me recording this after you guys had that blow up where Udonis Haslem turned into Pyru on the court. Miami, I've said it before. I think you guys are a team that has you guys are deep, but it just seems as if like when you guys play them top teams, it feels like you guys just don't have that guy that can go get you 30 when it matters most. I don't believe in that. Compared to these other teams in the Eastern Conference, if they were to make it to the NBA Finals, I wouldn't be surprised because I've seen them play so good. But if they don't make the NBA Finals, I won't be surprised because I don't really hold that expectations to them, because I don't think the level of talent that they have on their team compared to other teams is that significant. Because when you really look at it, the leader in their fourth quarter scoring is Tyler Hero. A lot of the points from Miami comes with a 3-point shot. If the 3-point shot isn't falling, which is usually Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, a lot of other guys, then their offense is really pretty stagnant. Unless, Jimmy Butler's going crazy. Y'all aren't bad. You guys can still make it to the conference finals and finals. It could happen, but I'm just not buying in. I'm not buying in. Chicago, sleepers. Look, Chicago, you guys were looking good to begin the season, midway through the season, and I think that the injuries definitely derailed your season for sure, but I cannot talk about a team being a top team in the Eastern Conference when they can't compete well against contending teams in the Eastern and Western Conference. I just can't do that. You guys haven't won a single game against the top 3 teams in either conference, and I know injuries have played a factor, but at the end of the day, I don't think that you guys have ended the season pretty bad, and I don't see you guys making it to a conference finals. Maybe a semifinals, maybe, who knows? You guys, the talent on the Bulls, you guys have talent for sure. It just hasn't come together when it matters most near the end of the season, so I just can't put you guys there. You're a sleeper team. You guys are definitely can make some noise, but what we expected from you guys and what you guys shown us in this season, so what you guys are doing now, it's not, I can't rock it. It's not good, bro. It's not good. It's not. Next team, the Brooklyn Nets. Look, we know what's up. Kyrie's back. KD got his partner back. The Nets are finally healthy without Ben Simmons yet, but look, they're a sleeper team. And I think because when you look at it, Kyrie and KD are going to be phenomenal. They're going to be a handful for a lot of teams to deal with. But again, they're going to be in the play-in tournament most likely. So you never know what could happen in these play-in tournament games. And I think that Brooklyn, as much as great, they're great offensively, but defensively, they still have some holes that they got to fix up. I just can't put them there. I don't think they're favorites, but I'm putting them as the sleepers because, again, KD and Kyrie, I can't bet against those guys. I just can't. I got to keep my eye open with those guys. got. So let's not sleep on these guys. Let's not sleep on the Nets for sure. Let's not sleep on them. The next team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Go ahead and watch March Madness. We know what's up. Let's not even waste no time with you guys. I like Trey Mann. Trey Mann has looked pretty good as of late in March. Looked like a pretty good scorer. And I think that when you guys get healthy from your injuries, you guys will look a lot better for sure. And depending on what pick you guys get, you guys could definitely be a problem for the future. But I think that right now it's obvious. Go ahead and watch March Madness. Like, yeah. The next team, the Golden State Warriors. I want to put them in missing something because Steph Curry is injured. You look at the Western Conference, there's 3 teams, Memphis, Phoenix, and Golden State. Any of these 3 teams can make it to the NBA Finals. I won't go in depth about who I think will come out of it completely because that's for a different video. But Golden State, again, they have too many guys on their team that are talented and can score, and their defense is going to be a problem. I think the only thing that will probably push me down to missing something is that they're going to lack some size down low with Wiseman being out for the year, and we expected him to be back. But I am banking on the fact that the chemistry of this team and their experience is going to prevail them at times in these playoffs. And I think that when Curry comes back before the playoffs, assuming he comes back before the start of the playoffs, the Warriors have what it takes to go ahead and make it to the finals. They definitely do. They've looked shaky to say the least, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. Next team, Boston Celtics. Look, fam. They're a finals team in the Eastern Conference. The 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that I think can make it to the finals are the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers. The Celtics have been the best team in the NBA since the new year. They have the best defense. They've had one of the best offenses. Jason Tatum has been playing on an MVP level. Boston's a dangerous team. And again, if they don't keep up what they've been doing right now, let's say they look like they were looking like in the first half of the season where they were like a sleeper team or a B tier team or a C tier team, then yeah, I get it. And put them back down. But if they keep up this level of play, they're going to be very, very hard to beat in the playoffs. And I think we got to acknowledge that, especially when they've been the best team since 2022. So yeah. Second to last team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, the Lakers are going to be in the play-in tournament, and the only hope for the Lakers is if AD comes back and LeBron keeps doing what LeBron James does, and Russell Westbrook turns into the Brody again. There's a possibility that could happen. I'm not banking that. I'm not saying it cannot happen where their big 3 turns into another big 3, because if they do, they'll be in the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they're probably going to be playing Phoenix, and I don't know how they're going to beat those guys. The next few games are going to be very, very tough. They have a lot of good teams that are in the A tier and B tier teams that they have to play up against, and if they don't do well, like I said about San Antonio, they could be in the playoffs. So the Lakers, again, they haven't looked great. They don't look like a team that's a playoff team, but you can't count out LeBron James. And hopefully, if they're able to make the playoffs and they have AD and Russell Westbrook and LeBron James, you still can't count them out. But that's a whole lot of ifs. So we'll see. We'll see with the Lakers. Yeah. Last team, the Orlando Magic. I think that you guys definitely need to go watch March Madness. There's a lot of rookies. If you guys get a top pick that could really help your team out, I think that you guys have good guard play already with Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony when Markelle Fultz is there. And I think that you guys have one of the better rookies in Franz Wagner, who's just efficient and doesn't really force the needle and just does what needs to be done offensively. Orlando, you guys have some potential to be really, really good in the future, but as of right now, watch March Madness. Watch March Madness and start winning games. I need the Rockets to get that top 5 pick. You feel me? Yeah, go do that. But again, this concludes the NBA rankings for this season. Again, if you enjoyed this series, man, definitely leave a like, subscribe. It takes some time to put some work into these videos. And again, if you guys want to go ahead and see how your team did the entire season, go ahead and watch the other videos and see how your team did. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, because you know more content coming on the way because the playoffs are about to start. But until next time, guys, stay on beat.